Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Premier League preview show, round 36. So close. It's nearly all over, and let's be honest, in dearly departed land, it's kind of all over already now. Since we did the show on Monday, Fulham have been relegated as well. So 3 of our 5 teams are going to finish in the bottom 3. 3 of them relegated. A bleak week for the dearly departed. But hey, you're going to make a show about teams that go up from the second tier into the Premier League. In the current landscape in English football, then you know that this is likely to happen, isn't it? So yeah, we won't speak specifically about Fulham Burnley. If you do want to see a bit of stuff on Fulham, I did the Fulham season review, the What Went Wrong job. Did that on Tuesday. We did the same for West Brom as well. And also, I'm not going to get into a 0-0 draw last night between Aston Villa and Everton, which was a catch-up match. Not a lot to talk about. So we will go in and preview our round 36 games for our dearly departed. Here are the fixtures. But not before, I forgot about that, we're going to say thank you to Jay Coyle, who's our fan sponsor for this, dearly departed, also known as Ben Couldn't Bear to Lose. Just thank you so much, Jay. Great sport, and he has worked with us all season sponsoring these shows. An unsung hero, Jay. Well, we try not to make him unsung by giving him a shout out every episode, and thoroughly well deserved it is too. Thank you again, Jay. Right, let's get to those fixtures. So we've already ticked off a couple of games that would be played this weekend. I believe this is a FA Cup final business, getting these ones out of the way. Manchester United 1, Leicester 2. I think that was on Tuesday, wasn't it? Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. It was on Wednesday, so we go into round 36. Newcastle play Manchester City tonight. Newcastle manager Steve Bruce has just been named Manager of the Month before we get on here. So that tells you a little bit about what the dearly departed were going up against. Newcastle pulling away this month. Well deserved that one for Brucey. Here's our first 2 dearly departed games on Saturday lunchtime. Burnley versus Leeds at 12:30. Southampton versus Fulham at 3. Then it's Brighton, West Ham. Palace Villa is our next game on Sunday at midday. Spurs and Wolves at 2:05. West Brom, having been relegated, now have to play Liverpool, who are pushing again very nicely after that win last night against Manchester United. And then Everton versus Sheffield United is the final game. Just take into account Everton and Aston Villa both played last night. So they're going to be Thursday, rest day, prep day, match day across to Sunday. It's been a busy old year, hasn't it? Let's go from the top downwards. Our highest ranked dearly departed team is Leeds. So let's see what they are up to this weekend. And in the Chris Wood derby, it's Burnley versus Leeds. Leeds won the return game of this early in the season, and Leeds have done well. They're in 10th, and they have punished those teams that are sort of down in the bottom 6 or so. No, they lost to Brighton recently, didn't they? But in the main, they've picked up the amount of points you would expect of a team in the middle of the table from those languishing beneath them. In terms of Burnley, they obviously grabbed their safety with that win at Fulham on Monday night. It was a head-to-head, and they put the gap to 12 points with just 4 games to go. 3 games to go. In fact, it was 4 games to go going into that, obviously. So Burnley are safe. Do we get a drop-off from Burnley now that they're safe? I've seen quotes from Marcelo Bielsa today saying they have a very defined style and they execute it very, very well. I'm sure he's a big fan of that sort of thing. And we got to give credit to Sean Dyche, just season after season. They're competitive and they stay in there and hang in there despite others maybe spending a little bit more. But they're not going to finish above Leeds this season, are they? Leeds are 11 points ahead of them, so that's guaranteed. Bit of a gap opened up ahead of Leeds, so maybe 10th place is the limit, but that's still fantastic, isn't it? Leeds' maximum upside is 59. So actually Arsenal have only got 2 games to go. Leeds have got a game in hand. We will see. Certainly would be assisted by a win in this one. And then, to be fair, actually, I'm going to correct myself. Gap would be 2 points then, with only a couple of games to go. Interesting. We'll have a look at those fixtures. But look, if Leeds finish in the top 10, outstanding. There's the recent form. Wins against Sheffield United, Manchester City. Draws against Liverpool and Manchester United. Brilliant. And then they lose to Brighton. Deary me. But a really good win against Spurs last time out. And there's your Leeds team from last time out. Meslier, Ayling, Llorente, Stroik, Alioski. Now, you see Robin Koch in Calvin Phillips' spot there. Phillips came off the bench in the last game at the end. That was a week ago, wasn't it? So surely he's back in and starting. Unless Gareth Southgate's been on the phone and he's going to be very, very gingerly eased back in. So he's definitely going to get in that England squad for the Euros. Of interest as well is that Liam Cooper, we believe, will be back. Therefore, essentially those 3 positions there, you've got 2 new players coming back in for those. So it's basically 2 players between Koch, Struijk, Llorente and Cooper. You let me know how that one's going to play out. That sounds like a little bit of a bun fight for the centre-back position. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Leeds have had long periods of the season where they've had either 2 or 3 of those 4 centre-backs injured, but they've got all 4 of them finally fit. So we'll see how Bielsa lines that one up. Rafinha returned. So you would expect he's going to start. There's Rodrigo as well. There's Dallas. You wouldn't think Dallas is getting dropped from anything. So perhaps if Rafinha comes back in, Dallas will go back and head over and play left back and Alioski will drop out. Who knows? Maybe Rodrigo ahead of Roberts now. I don't know. Maybe Click drops out and Alioski stays at left back and Dallas goes central midfield and Rafinha comes in. It's nice to have some options to talk about, you Leeds fans, isn't it? Great stuff. Seems like that hasn't been the case for a lot of the season. Obviously, Pat Bamford will play up top. So let me know how you think he's going to line this up with the likely returns of Phillips, Cooper, Rafinha. Rodrigo came off the bench and scored in the last game as well. And as much as a lot of people are very pro Tyler Roberts, perhaps that position swaps player today. Burnley, 4-4-2. You love it. Pope, Lawton, Tarkowski, me, Taylor. McNeil, Cork, Westwood, Brownhill, Vidra and Wood. Obviously, Chris Wood. I think 28 in the league he scored for Leeds United. Back in, help me. 16, 17? Have I got the right year? And there's a lot to thank Chris Wood for, actually. Whenever I've discussed historically with Leeds fans, everyone needs to sell a big player. And yes, Ronaldo Vieira was sold a bit closer to Bielsa arriving. But a lot of Leeds' success can be traced back to A, the sale of Chris Wood, and B, the arrival of Pablo Hernandez, and then Bielsa, obviously. But a very, very important moment, and Chris Wood certainly helped swell the coffers at Leeds to their benefit, and ultimately, a few years later, they would go up. I'm not necessarily saying cause and effect, but certainly the start of something, let's just say. How's this one going to go then? Well, Leeds have done well against the teams down at the bottom. And Burnley, will they just have that? Right, okay, we're safe now, we've survived. That it often only lasts one game, but little hangover. Leeds are going to create some chances, aren't they? They always do. Can they stop Burnley and their bespoke attacking style? I think they can. Come on, let's do it. There's not much to cheer about with 3 relegated, so let's go Leeds to win at Burnley. Let me know what you think down there in the comments. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Villa are still 1 point behind Leeds. It's very tight. in the battle to win the dearly departed league. Villa played last night, and thank God Jack Grealish finally returned. Dean Smith said he was told by the physio 75 minutes. They went a little bit early, a couple of 3 minutes earlier, I think. We've also been told he's not ready to start this game. So, Jack is back, for you England fans, but we don't think he'll be starting in this one. But surely his mere presence and his ability to come off the bench is a big help to Villa, who have missed him greatly. There's the recent form without Captain Jack. Good win against Everton without him. Draw also against Everton. They've got their number, played them twice in close succession there. Last minute draw against West Brom. Defeats to Manchester United, Manchester City and Liverpool. So there's a bit of a sense that Villa are playing their form and they are doing okay against teams below them. Obviously, Palace are not that far below them. Well, not that far in terms of positions, but they are 8 points behind. 41 plays 49. Lots of rumours about Roy the Boy. Might be done at the end of the season. What a great manager Roy Hodgson has been. Fantastic. But he is pushing on in years, let's just say. You know what you're going to get from Palace, don't you? Very safe, very hard to beat. But look down the bottom. Are they? Defeat against Chelsea. Defeat against Leicester. Defeat against Manchester City. Beat bottom Sheffield United. But defeat against Southampton as well. There's your team. Gaeta, Mitchell, Dan, Kouyaté, Ward, Eze, Milivojevic, Riedveld, Zaha, Benteke, Ayew. Certainly some quality up the top end, but 4 defeats in those last 5. Does make me wonder, could we get a dearly departed double here in this one? Villa had to go with Keenan Davis in the last game, you can see there. Ollie Watkins was 2 yellows, wasn't it? So he should be back from suspension. You wouldn't expect too much will change. I can see a little, excuse me, injury there next to Matt Cash. Hope he's okay. He's had some problems recently, hasn't he? It would be Ahmed El Mohammadi that would be coming in. And Villa are just working towards probably, we're at game number 35. Maybe at game number 37, they'll be able to get Grealish, Watkins, Barkley, Cash back in. Everybody starting, and maybe a bit more squad depth is what they'll need to head towards. But look, if your best player gets injured, your best player gets injured. We get it. So can Villa win without Grealish at Palace? Go on, let's go for it. Let's go for the dearly departed double then. We'll go for Villa to do it. I think the smart money might be on a draw on this one, I have to say. I think both sides are stumbling toward the end of the season, but we will do it. We'll go for a dearly departed double just to make me a bit happier after 3 of our teams have now been relegated this week. Get your thoughts in via the comments. Southampton versus Fulham, and it's all done for Fulham now. My apologies there. I'm looking down the bottom. I've got the wrong results down there. I've got Fulham's and Burnley's rather than Fulham's and Southampton's. My humble apologies there. But we still get the Fulham tale of the tape. And it's a tale of woe for the Cottagers, isn't it? They've just been, really since that win at Liverpool, it's just not worked at all, has it? And look at those last 5. 1 point to conceal, confirm, confirm. Joining two of the wrong words together there, for God's sakes. To seal their relegation, down with a bit of a whimper. I think even staunch Fulham fans would probably agree with that. The reason I was just falling over my words is because on this laptop over here, I've just managed to get the Southampton form up. So the last 6 for Southampton there, they did beat Palace last time out, but defeat against Liverpool, a draw with Leicester, defeat against Spurs, they lost in the FA Cup, and they lost heavily against West Brom. So Southampton have really slid down the table, haven't they, in the second half of the season? I'm sure they were second at some point, weren't they? And we're not talking about 3 weeks into the season as well. A couple of months into the season, I think they were quite high up there. It's been a bad slip for Southampton, hasn't it? But look who was back in the last game. Danny Ings returned and scored twice, up there with Shea Adams. There's the rest of the team. Forster, Stevens, Vestergaard, Bednarek, Walker-Peters, Minamino, Ward-Prowse, Armstrong, Redmond, Ings and Adams. And Ings is key, isn't he? Absolutely key. What do we expect from Fulham? Not a lot, really. They're down. And now you have to start looking at possibly players that have been loaned in. Areola, Anderson, Tete. I think Lamina's on loan from Southampton, so he's definitely not playing. Expect to see Harrison Reed in there if he's fit. Lookman as well. You've now got a lot of loan players who essentially are not going to be there next season, are they? Because a few of those players, particularly Lookman, Anderson, they're not going to go and play in the Championship, are they? For goodness sake, and come and sign full-time for Fulham. So, bit of an awkward transitional period. I think Jamie Carragher, it was, either Carragher or Neville on Monday Night Football, said Fulham now just look ahead. So, if it is that sense, then I'm not very hopeful in this game. It's an away trip to Southampton. Ings returning. Fulham just relegated, in bad form, looking ahead at next season. Loan players, frankly, are going to... I know Scott Parker says they're committed, but they've got to move on with their careers now, which are almost certainly going to be somewhere else. And it just doesn't bode well for getting through these last 3 games, does it? 27 points. So max upside is 36. I'll hope to be getting over 30 in the last 3. But I'm going to go for a Southampton win in this one. Sorry, Fulham fans. Let the misery continue. Let me know what you think in the comments. Speaking of misery, West Brom versus Liverpool. And Liverpool are back in better form now, aren't they? 5th in the table. They are making the chase. They have a game in hand on Chelsea on that top 4. If they win that, they will be 1 point behind. Chelsea playing the FA Cup this week. You have got a highly motivated, reasonably in form Liverpool side. Look, they set their standards so high the last 2 seasons that you kind of go, okay, 3 wins and 2 draws. Well, that was 4 wins and a draw last season, although there was a point where they were just winning every week, weren't they? So wins against Villa, Southampton and Manchester United 4-2. Was that last night or was that 2 nights ago? 13th? No, that was last night. So, look, maybe there's something there. West Brom have had a bit more rest. I don't know, but Liverpool in good form there. Alisson, Trent, Phillips, Williams, Robertson. Big Sam will think he can get at the 2 centre-backs. Everybody has thought that with Liverpool. Fabinho, Thiago, Wijnaldum is so strong, isn't it? Salah, Firmino, Jota. Some fun and games with Mane and Klopp last night, but I'm sure there's nothing in that. And you can just see Liverpool trending up towards the end of the season. And once they get Mr. Van Dijk back, maybe the monster will rear its head again next season and away they'll go again. For West Brom, confirmed relegation at Arsenal at the weekend. Just too little too late under Big Sam. And I suppose before we even look at the teams, the conversation's going to be, will he be there next season? Let's wait and see what comes out from West Brom. If I'm a West Brom fan, I'd be hoping he would be there next season. I think he can surely take them back. Johnston in goal last time. Furlong, Ajayi, Bartley and Townsend. Pereira, Phillips, Yokuselu, Robinson, Gallagher and Diania. Probably not going to change too much. Against some of the big boys, he has dropped in an extra centre half in there as well, Big Sam, and we've seen a sort of almost a flat back 5, haven't we? So maybe they'll go a little bit more defensive. And I'm sorry with my predictions today. You can see why I went heavy on Villa. I can only see Liverpool winning this one, I have to say. And this is all about Liverpool rather than West Brom, but just seem to be trending back. And when they go into Old Trafford and banging in 4 goals and looking fairly good coming back there, you worry for West Brom, don't you? So I'll go for a Liverpool win. Let me know what you think in the comments. Everton v Sheffield United is our last one. Sheffield United looking to get to that magical 20 points. I don't know how magical it is to get 20 points, but it's something to aim for, isn't it? For the Blades, who are in talks with 4 or 5 managers we've heard are on the shortlist. Let's see what happens going forward with that. But Need to get this done, get this decided, get the guy organised, contracts offered, arranged, get him in the building as soon as possible, even if it's announced before the end of this season. Get that done and get planning, for goodness sakes. Everton, a little bit of a worry for their sort of European hopes. They had beaten Everton at the weekend, but a drab 0-0 draw, said the BBC report I just read before we went to film this. Not losing very many, though, are they? Draw against Brighton, draw against Spurs, win at Arsenal, and then lose at home to Villa, and then win at West Ham. A bit erratic, this. They do tend to be better away from home than they do at home, I think. Everton have had a few interesting home defeats, put it that way, so maybe there is something there for the Blades. Pickford, Holgate, Keane, Godfrey, Digne, Sigurdsson, Coleman, Doucouré, Allen, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, managed of course by Carlo Ancelotti. A lot of quality there. Last time out for Blades, Ramsdale, Basham, Egan, Bryan. Good to see Basham and Egan back together. Baldock, Stevens, Fleck, Norwood, Berger, Burke and McGoldrick. Does it feel like that team needs to be pepped up now? You're going to be asking the likes of Chris Basham, John Egan, Fleck, Norwood came latterly, Stevens, Baldock. Going to be going into their second season, their third season, their fourth season. Some of them even, probably Basham, fifth season of this run that did go League One, Championship, Premier League. It has lasted those 5 years, and it does feel like a new cycle needs to continue. No Rhian Brewster in that one. Oliver Burke started last time. I've been a big proponent of get him in there now, get him working, get him scoring, ready for the Championship next season. Can Sheffield United get a draw? Can I play my joker and pull out a random draw rather than defeat number 29 of the season for Sheffield? I don't want Sheffield United to lose 29 games. Let's go for a draw. Draw. More in hope than expectation, but you can see all three of the already relegated sides all adding another defeat on to the league table this round of matches. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's our show. I won't forget Jay this time. Jay Coyle, dearly departed, also known as Ben, couldn't bear to lose us. Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you very much to all your patrons. I have had a couple of emails from people on Patreon saying, look, I'm going to cancel the subscription as the season ends and we'll be back. Of course, that's absolutely fine. And we will keep doing some bits and bobs during the summer, but in the main, it's a football season thing, isn't it? So just thank everybody for their support over on Patreon. And of course, we can now say for certain, fans of Sheffield United, West Brom and Fulham, make sure you are subscribed and ready to go. Do it on Patreon as well if you want. But here on YouTube, ready for next season. I will be with you. Preview, review every single round, every game in the Championship, every goal that your team scores. We will be across on the channel. It's a high bar, but we've managed to do it this season. It's a lot of football. Hey, if we can do it in the squished up COVID schedule, we can do it whenever. So do get subscribed, do get involved. And for you Leeds and Villa fans, Norwich and Watford, welcome back. And you're going to know a lot more, maybe after next Monday and those first playoff legs. We'll drop a bit of info in there if you guys aren't necessarily following the Championship as to who you might expect joining us in the dearly departed shows next season. Will it be Brentford, Swansea, Bournemouth or Barnsley? Wow. Right, thank you everybody for watching. That was our dearly departed preview for round 36. Get commenting. I've had my say, now you have yours. And it's a big over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.